when we used to go to Clinton, Louisiana, and sing with Mr. Watson, what's his name?
The Dons now.
And Fatty was saying that about,
Tell Hussein, huh?
yeah. And then that,
How that went?
Tell Satan to leave me alone. Whoa, tell Satan to leave me alone. Well, I'm gone in my room. Yes, I'm fall down on my knees. Tell Satan to leave me alone. That old sister come across this shout. Sister Jones' house down there, and we were singing at the healing song. You know what it was, Betty?
I was healed by the wound.
Yeah, you know, we're singing it in all of Sullivan. When Fatty was healing on the lady, and then all of a sudden the lady jumped up with the shouting with her, talking about, "Oh, Sister Chapman is gone. Oh, Sister Chapman is gone."
I remember that. That was there, wasn't it? Yeah, I was there.
Miss Jones, when she jumped up and started shouting that it was gone, she had a big shout. I heard it.
But she was trying, she said, "Oh, Sister Chapman is right here, but it's gone now."
Cooking up a lot of content for you guys. There was a staffing company that I want to talk about, or more so, I want to talk about contracting. Now, there was a staffing agency that I never forgot the name. They're here in Minneapolis. And they're in downtown Minneapolis, if they're still there. The agency is still around. I won't say the name, but I know somebody that recently landed a contract there at an IT job. And it makes me think about the earlier years when I first started kind of doing contracting. Now, when you're first starting off, it's good. Or if you have a particular skill set, you can get a very high rate depending upon your skill set. If you're advanced skills, like extremely advanced, you could almost name your price, because your particular skill set is going to set you apart from other people. So some guys have survived, and that's all they did was contract. Some guys, they're not going in. I knew a dude when I was at AIG. He had his own managed service company. So his day in, day out contract, the one that pays his bills, he would remote in, even sometimes while he was contracting and stuff like that. So he was getting that bag. But he was a system administrator, a system engineer. He worked a lot with Linux and PowerShell, so he was able to automate a lot of processes and do a lot of different things. One day he was telling me that he was working for some company, and he was the one that actually made our image run the way it should have in that project. He was really, really, really good. A little arrogant, but naturally sometimes so. Like, usually people with a real strong skill set, and men that, as what they quote unquote say that, the high value guys, or dudes that really handle business and really get to it, they're not usually that, not the quote unquote nicest. They don't care whether you like them or not. They produce. Most highly productive men are usually the same. And some people may rub that off as arrogance or whatever, but they get to handle business. They don't got time for no dumb shit. You see what I'm saying? So, usually they don't got a lot of time. They don't You know, everything, they're always thinking of making something better. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes that might come off as them being mean or arrogant or whatever like that. So, you know, a lot of the people that was, you know, around, they probably thought, oh, well, he's arrogant or whatever like that. No, he just gets shit done. And the mediocre, subpar people that's around him, they're naturally not going to like him. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, he had those servers tuned up to the max. So he was telling me a story about he was at some place and the people were complaining because they're like, oh, well, you don't do anything. Well, he had his servers running at a very, very high level. And these servers, the benchmarks was good. The logs were all, I mean, everything, it was just a fine-tuned working system. So everything was running how it's supposed to. He was administering the system. They wanted his nose to the, I call it nose to the pavement. Basically, we want to see you physically doing something all the time. And he's like, I am. I got the systems running how they're supposed to be. They're tuned. There's Windows updates and all that. But in so many words, we want to see you. We want to crack the whip all the time. And he's like, hey, I ain't going for that. And he told him, I ain't going for it. Now, these idiots decided to get rid of him, and they got somebody that was worse and asked him to come back. So he told him, he pretty much told them, you know, you could go, you know, he gave them the middle finger. So you got rid of somebody because you wanted to see them constantly to the point where you want to be able to crack the whip. You want to be a taskmaster for somebody that already has your systems running better than what they were. But they want his keys. They want his eyes glued. And he's like, you know, I got everything under control. If it breaks, I'm gonna fix it. It's under control. It's a running locomotive. But they want the conductor of the locomotive to be conducting the traffic, and they want him to get outside on the railroad and work on the railroad too. And he said, hell no. And I would have done it either. You pay me to keep this stuff maintained and it's running better than what it was before. So there's really nothing you need to tell me else what to do. So they got rid of him because I guess they didn't like his attitude. He said, well, they thought, oh, I'm arrogant. And they went and got some asshole that not only made the system work worse, but he messed up a bunch of stuff. So they call him back. Can you fix it? A, we'll pay you more to fix it. B, we made a mistake. We shouldn't have told you that. So the number one thing he said was, number one, F you. That's number one. Number two, you gonna pay me a lot more if I decide to do it. And number three, kiss my ass. They didn't really want to pay. They got their ego, so they didn't want to pay him. So they had to go around and find somebody that could fix this mess and get it back to where dude had it in the beginning, because somebody else came and messed it all up. So they ended up paying more than the original dude because they was butthurt because he told him to kiss his ass. Because that was the first thing he told him. He said, for number one, y'all kiss my ass because you got rid of me and you didn't have to. Because you just didn't like my attitude. So you probably had a bunch of little sissy, sassy beta males that was running the show and got their feelings hurt rather than saying, okay, the force is on fire. Rather than looking at it from a standpoint like, if the building's on fire, do we care about how the firefighters, if they're mean or not? The firefighter might say, well, pass the water, as opposed to please pass the water. So the fact that he didn't say please, and he needs the water so he could put this fire out and get the building back up to code and where it needs to be. Y'all went out of your way. They got butthurt about it, and now you got somebody that messed it up, and then now, so you got to pay them. That's a contractor you had to pay, so you had to pay them. Then you had to go find somebody else that was good as this first dude. But see, that's a superior advanced system that he had. I didn't think he had the best attitude, but I didn't really give a damn. The man was getting it done. Yeah, he might have been arrogant. He might have talked shit a lot. He talked a lot of shit. But that man was getting it done, and he made our system streamlined. We had the best system in North America. And sometimes you had to kind of hear his, the rhetoric on, bootstrap and accountability and all that kind of stuff. So he was one of those. But the man got the stuff done. And he wouldn't mind showing you what it was. And one thing I could say is the guy was kind of upfront about his politics and his beliefs. He stood on that. He kind of stood on that. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't shy about. He wasn't passive aggressive at all. So he was kind of a shark out of the water, but he manned that ocean. He manned the ocean. And when it comes down to business, that's what matters. It matters on whether you get stuff done. It matters whether you get stuff done. So that, I kind of thought about that contract. He was running the managed service company and he was doing, I was just like, wow, you know what I'm saying? So, but it was Linux. He kept stressing Linux. He's like, Linux. He said, man, you got to have that Linux. He said, if you get the Linux down and you're good with the scripting and all that stuff, Perl and all that, he said, you're good. He said, if you want to continue the sysadmin route, he said, now I'll tell you it's a pain in the ass. So there was some things on the projects where the other guys, I told you, they try to crowbar their way into the projects, and he didn't really like that. So he kind of helped me fight to a certain degree. This was a conservative dude. I didn't really know. I knew what the beliefs is, but I didn't really care to even really, around that time, I just kind of, he was more on the right wing of the bird. But I could say that he didn't undermine the domain of technology. He didn't withdraw any information. He didn't hold no information. He didn't hide no information. He could have, but he didn't. And the reason why I'm bringing up this story is it leads me back to that agency I was telling you about. There was a brother that was working at this agency, this staffing agency that I'm talking about, this contracting agency. And this is how I knew. I had suspicion already, but this confirmed it. There was a position that he submitted me to. I don't think I took it. I think I went somewhere else, but it was a position that I think he tried to get me in there, but they might have picked someone else or something like that. But I didn't end up getting it. But he sent me the invoice of the company alongside what I was getting. Now, around that time, I think it was a whole lot more than what I normally get. And that's how I started to kind of realize how I was getting played for a long time. It was a whole lot more. And once he sent the invoice, I looked at the email and I said, well, damn. And I think they were billing the client like 100 to 200 hours, something like that. We gonna give you 35, 40, or it was, I don't know. It wasn't a long-term contract, but it was one of those contracts where you spend 6 to 12 months making this kind of money. This, you spend 4 months or something like that making what you would have made the whole year. So 4 months would have put you on big time. You know what I'm saying? 4 to 5 months, as opposed to working 6 to 8 or 12 to 16 months for that same amount of money. So, but they were showing me that they billed the client 150 to 200. I look at the email and I'm like, I think he sent me the wrong thing. Like, he wasn't supposed to send that to me. So I replied back like, hey man, I think you sent me the wrong invoice. And so then he hit my line. He said, oh no, we never send stuff like this to people. But it was a brother. So he said, that wasn't by accident, man. I sent that to you on purpose. He said, because I want you to see how these folks play, how they'll tell you they could give you just this. and how much we bill. He said, but you need to understand, we float the client. We bill the client, but we may not get paid for damn near 90 days. So we have to ensure we got somebody good, because that's part of the contract too. If you come in and you make us look bad, the client may not even have to pay us at all, or they pay us a prorated amount for all, bit of nothing. So we have to pay the insurance, we have to pay you out of our pocket, and we have to bill the client. The client may not like you after 30 days or after, but if it's 90 days in, so we give them these contracts, maybe 90 days in. Okay, did you do well? Now they still got to pay them if I've been working there 90 days, but they don't pay them right away. They got a thing called net 30, net 60, there was net 90 or something like that. It's called net, where they bill, it's a term used in manufacturing or something like that, or invoicing or whatever, but basically they bill out beyond 60 days. Remember, I had a contract where they did what they call net 30 or net something, and I didn't get paid. Normally you get paid in the next couple of weeks or whatever, but they bill like by month. So I started the contract in August. I didn't get paid till almost like October or something like that, close to that, because they're billing in advance. They still owe me, and because I had an LLC subcontractor. Now, here's the thing: because I worked that 30 days in advance, I think I started in August, but didn't get paid till like September, October, or something like that. But now, y'all, those next couple months, even when I'm gone, you owe me another 30 days or whatever I worked. You know what I'm saying? I might have worked 60 days and didn't get paid till, but then now, y'all, so it's behind. You see what I'm saying? But so now December and January, I'm getting checks still. You see what I'm saying? If it ends in January, then y'all still owe me for, so he just wanted me to see how it works. And that's how I'm able to tell you guys, that's how it works. They were billing a client 150, 200 hours, something like that. But they're taking all the hit. Their health benefits, 401k, Cobra, or all of that stuff. That a piece comes out of my check, but that's employer paid. Now, the health benefits might have been cheaper, or more, a little more, because I'm a contractor as opposed to a real employer. But yet and still, I'll do another story in a minute. I'm gonna go check and see if that was somebody, but that's the contract game.